How do you say thank you to those who fight for our freedom? Think about this for a second. Millions of Americans joining the military, putting everything on the line just so you and I can live in peace.
Well, two families who have spent decades vacationing here on Delmarva decided to do their part. So they created Operation Seize the Day. Now, it's not only a way to thank hundreds of wounded warriors, but a way to give them and their families a peaceful week by the sea.
This parade of heroes is just one highlight of a week set aside for some of our nation's wounded warriors and their families here in Bethany Beach, a week Annette Reaping and Ron Blank helped plan.
Operation Seize the Day, this great program, really grew out of a conversation that two women in the area had in 2012.
Becky Johns and Diane Pohanka were discussing the possibility of sponsoring the men and women along with their families at the beach. They shared their idea with retired physician Richard Caton.
Then this idea began to take some legs, and so Diane and Becky and Richard then got together, got some other folks to help, purely voluntary, the whole program, and the first of the group of 25 wounded warriors and their families came here in 2013, September of 2013.
They were housed in donated condos and homes around the area.
Businesses opened their doors. There were activities that were planned and made available to the wounded warriors and family members, and it was just a huge success.
But Ron says the work to put on such a successful program was overwhelming.
So after that experience, they decided to enlist a few others into a board of a foundation.
That's how Annette Reaping got involved.
I had heard about it the first year, and I always had on my bucket list to do something to assist the military.
Annette's ties to the military run deep. Her husband served in Vietnam.
We lived in this country so peacefully and wonderfully because of strong military. And after September 11th, when we were attacked, and seeing our soldiers go and come back with injuries that we've never had to experience before, I thought I wanted to give back some way.
Ron's military career began as a medical officer and battalion surgeon in Vietnam. He retired in 2000 as a Surgeon General of the U.S. Army. Operation Seize the Day's mission is what attracted him to the project.
From the beginning, the focus on all the wounded, so we're talking about what we would think of as conventional wounds, perhaps a missing limb, perhaps an abdominal injury, perhaps a facial injury, reconstructive surgery. That's part of it, but also from the beginning, those suffering from post-traumatic stress, the disorder, traumatic brain injury, who look normal but aren't, are as wounded as the others, were included.
This year, about 30 veterans and their families will get their week of respite at Bethany Beach from September 8th through the 13th.
We have boating, we have paddle boarding, kayaking, therapeutic horseback riding, and that was new last year. Spa day for the caregivers, for the ladies.
And the list goes on, but Annette says none of this would be possible without the support of volunteers and local businesses.
We have over 90 businesses. If you walk around town, take your camera around town and look at the storefronts, you'll see a sign that says, "Proud supporter of Operation Seize the Day." They have been so generous to the families that it has just brought everyone together.
Each wounded warrior family has a host family. Not necessarily the homeowner, the person that's donated their homes or condos, but a host family who's available to get them places, answer questions, be available if transportation's needed or any of those sorts of things. So to see the eagerness of these host families was, one, inspiring, and then to see the wounded warriors and their families come in, a little, not suspicious, but just they weren't quite sure what they were getting into, and then to see them open up, embrace the host family, the events, and at the end of it, to see how grateful they were and how much healing went on.
But Ron says the wounded warriors and families are also given any time and space they need to just be a family.
Being available but not being intrusive is also important. These people need their space. and we try to build in time where they can just be by themselves, both as an individual family, but with other families where we're not hovering over them.
And once the families have their time here and head back to their homes, the Seaside community is left with a reminder of what many of us have and how we can help others heal.
I think the community benefits because it's a way to say thank you. It's a way to become involved. It's a way to get out of our day-to-day lives, and gosh, we're all busy, busier now than ever, and yet here's something that's bigger than any one of us, and so you're part of something that has great benefit to others, and that's important. Communities need to be about that.
They also know that this is a very special town, a very special area, that people can recover. And it's the beauty of it, the peacefulness of it, the fact you can come here and people give you your space so that you can recover on your own, but yet walk up and thank you.
Again, Operation Seize the Day is September 8th through the 13th. Volunteers are always needed, and there are many ways you can help. If you'd like more information, just go to our website, WBOC.com, click on our picture at the top of the page. And it really is a great program. They do so much, and so many volunteers giving so much time.
Seize the day. It's something that she said, I've been trying to develop the habit of when I can discern that somebody has served or is serving, a bumper sticker, a hat or something, to tell them thank you.
Thank you.
It's a huge thing. Well, from helping our wounded warriors to helping you take care of your treasured house guests. Coming up next, we're going to hear some of the hot spots for injury around your home. Also going to learn about something called premise liability. If somebody gets hurt at your house, whose fault is it? And most importantly, how can you protect yourself, your family, and your guests from an unnecessary ailment?
Well, if you're looking to get your family into a new home, but you have no idea what your current home is worth, how do you know how much you can spend? Well, still ahead, we get the lowdown on appraisals and what does and doesn't add value to your bottom line. Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.